So we have posted three quizzes. Quiz number 1, quiz number 2, and quiz number 3 on the topic of spleen meridian. So now we will be discussing all the three quizzes one by one. So during the discussion, you can unmute yourself and reply. But if there is a noise in your background, then please do not unmute. Okay. So let's start with the quiz number 1. So the question number 1. In the Chinese medicine, the spleen is mainly, 1 minute. Question number 1. इसको मैं इसका आंसर तो छुपा दूं.
Sir, answer is transforming food into chi and blood.
Okay. So in the Chinese medicine, the spleen is mainly responsible for transforming
food into chi and blood. Chi and blood.
Okay, so anyone can explain in 1 or 2 lines? How did you remember it?
So,
That we are eating the food.
so when we eat food,
Hmm.
so it goes to stomach.
Hmm.
From stomach, then it'll be the stomach is digesting. Stomach and spleen is digesting food and converting into pure and impure food. So pure and food energy will go upward, which is done by spleen. Spleen is transporting this food
Lungs. To the
into
lungs.
food chi, which is pure
Lung.
and the pure form, which goes to upward to lung.
Hmm.
From there, it spread to the
Yeah.
rest of the organs.
Correct.
Done.
Then
Enough.
in air and this food chi gets mixed up, and then heart goes to heart, I think.
Hmm.
And then
Okay.
it is spreading all over.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
So it's very good. Thank you so much. So the answer is transforming food into chi and blood. Question number 2. Liver chi stagnation may invade the spleen and causing
B, sir. B, bloating, nausea.
nausea and alternating stool. I will tell you 2 lines for this. If spleen is weak, this will create diarrhea. I will repeat. If spleen is weak, it will create diarrhea. But if there is a liver chi stagnation, then it will create constipation. So when the person is having liver chi stagnation, which is attacking on the spleen, so we can see sometime diarrhea, sometime constipation, sometime diarrhea, sometime constipation. Okay. And we know bloating, nausea, and alternating stools, these are the sign. So connect with the spleen and the liver chi stagnation. Alternating stool having connection with the liver chi stagnation.
लास्ट वाला रिपीट करेंगे ऑल्टरनेट किस वजह से होता है
कि डायरिया होता है स्प्लीन से और कॉन्स्टिपेशन होता है लिवर chi स्टैग्नेशन से. तो इन दोनों के कॉम्बिनेशन से ऑल्टरनेट करता है, कभी ये कभी वो, कभी ये कभी वो.
So is it due to hyperactive liver?
Liver
Is
It is
creating
liver chi
constipation,
It's-
overacting cycle?
It's because of the liver chi stagnation. The TCM language is the different language from the other things, right? we have to think as per liver chi stagnation attacking on the spleen. Why spleen attacking on the spleen? Because spleen is weak, spleen कमजोर है, इसलिए spleen पर आक्रमण हो रहा है. So spleen weakness will create diarrhea, but liver chi stagnation will create excessive energies and will try to create holding of the stool, means constipation. You will understand this.
Overacting cycle, na sir? Liver attacking spleen, like that.
You're telling like that overacting
Yes, sir.
cycle.
Overacting cycle, which you had taught us before, which will create the stagnation.
Okay. Actually, better if we see this, because liver chi stagnation is attacking on spleen, stomach, liver chi stagnation attacking on heart, it is attacking on kidney, urinary bladder, lungs, it is attacking everywhere. So we are not using the name. But if you want to use for spleen, you can use it, no problem.
Okay.
But it might attack anywhere. Now, question number 3. If the spleen and stomach are called the body
Engine room.
the center of energy production. So there are two types of the energies. One energy we are bringing from the parents, that is called prenatal chi, stored in the kidney. And another energy we are getting from the food after birth. So after birth only, this is the medium, and air is the medium or food is the medium can provide energy. जन्म के बाद केवल स्प्लीन स्टमक ही वो माध्यम है और लंग ही वो माध्यम है जिनसे हमें ऊर्जा मिलती है. सो दिस इज द इंजन रूम, सेंटर ऑफ एनर्जी प्रोडक्शन. Question number 4. The direction of spleen chi is
Upward.
upward. Question number 5. Stomach and chi mainly
Downward.
downward. Question number 6. Spleen is known as a root of
Post-heaven chi.
post-heaven key. Question number 7. The key sign of big spleen function is
Tiredness and low energy.
tiredness and the low energy. Question number 8. Raw cold food and the cold drink weaken the spleen because they
C. Spleen transformation power.
So when the person is drinking cold drinks, taking cold food and raw things, like in Ayurveda, this is the rule that we should not eat raw salad after 4 p.m. After 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. means after evening. We should not eat raw salad. Why? Because body has to put more effort to digest the raw salad. That's why if anyone is coming in the Ayurveda for any treatment like Panchakarma treatment or any treatment, doctors are giving boiled things like boiled soup, boiled, if even they want to give salad na, so they will boil it and they will make soup and they will provide. So if the person eating salad or lots of raw thing after evening time, it might create weakness of the spleen. Sometimes person is having a stronger spleen, sporty, he is playing a lot, doing lots of workout, maybe not getting affected. Okay. But the other person who is not that much strong, who is not that much doing like physical workout, so raw things might create problem. So raw things and the number 1 raw thing and number 2 cold things might injure the spleen.
सर जो डी ऑप्शन है क्या कोल्डनेस डायरेक्टली स्ट्रेंथन करती है डैम्पनेस को?
Strengthen dampness directly.
Cold
Raw
खाली
cold
जो होता है।
food and the cold drink weaken the spleen because they strengthen dampness directly. No. our main thing, they will injure the spleen. And spleen is like, I given the example, like spleen we can understand like a gas chula, gas burner. The fire is coming out from that. Okay. Now you're keeping the water because of this gas, because the fire, spleen is creating that fire. There will be formation of the steam. So spleen is responsible for creating the yang energy. Then only the things will go up. Without the yang energy, how the thing will go up? The nature of yang is moving upward. Okay. So spleen is having that yang energy. That's why the things are moving upward. But if you are taking lots of raw things, cold thing, increasing dampness, so they will decrease the yang capacity of the spleen, yang force of the spleen. Result, the energy will not able to reach on the head region. Sometimes people eating lots of raw salad, cold thing, and they are having weak spleen, then energy is not reaching upward, then they start feeling dizziness. What is the meaning of dizziness? The dizziness when you are not getting blood or enough energy in your head region. Okay. So dizziness also might happen. So the thing is here, यहाँ पर, okay. So here, raw cold food and the cold drinks weaken the spleen because they injure spleen yang transformation power. It is like this कि आपकी लकड़ी जल रही है ना, लकड़ी जल रही है जो आग पैदा कर रही है, और आपने उसमें कोल्ड चीज डाल दी तो उसकी पावर कम हो जाएगी, है ना. सो द पावर विल डिक्रीज if you put some cold thing on the fire, then spleen power will get reduced. That's why we are telling if the person is having poor spleen, then should avoid cold drinks, cold water, cold things, sitting on the cold floor, living in the cold home. Even if in your home there is a dampness, you know what is dampness? Dampness means घरों में लगती है ना, काई लग जाती है कोने कोने में, काई,
Sealant.
sealant, sealant. So that is called damp home. Damp home means the leakage somewhere in the home. Okay, so there is a, if the leakage, then the wall become wet, that is damp home, damp wall. If the person is living in the damp home, it will also weaken the spleen. Now suppose if we are sleeping on the bed, and suppose bed is not fully dried, there is some like water or some weight, बिस्तर हल्का गीला है, so the bed is little wet, that will also weaken the spleen because now that is also the form of dampness. Okay, the person is wearing the clothes, especially many male, female going for office, and they are sweating a lot. In the office, they are not able to change the clothes. Their inner garment become wet. अंदर जो अंडर गारमेंट्स होते हैं वो गीले हो जाते हैं, लेकिन उसको बाद भी वो 4-4 6-6 घंटे तक पहने रहती है क्योंकि बाहर they can't change it. So that dirtiness, the dampness, that wetness also weaken the spleen and create lots of problem. Okay. Spleen like dry thing, hot thing. Spleen like dry and hot thing. Okay. So if you don't eat anything, you do fast. That is dry day, spleen become very happy and spleen get strengthened. If you are taking hot water, any hot thing, spleen get better. Okay. So spleen like cleanness. स्प्लीन को सफाई पसंद है. So this is the answer. Question number 9. Spleen separates the pure from impure and send the pure essence
upward to the lung.
Lung.
very good upward to the lungs. Okay. Question number 10. The spleen transforms and transport body fluids to support
Fluid distribution through the lung.
Distribution through the lung.
fluid distribution through the lungs. Here remember I have written spleen transforms and transport body fluid. Ginai. The other name of the body fluid also ginai. We can tell ginai or ginai. So ginai means body fluid. Question number 11. Spleen controls blood mainly by.
Keeping blood inside the vessels. C.
C.
Keeping blood
So
inside the body.
spleen is keeping the blood inside the blood vessels. What will happen if spleen is weak?
Not able to hold the blood inside the
Not able to hold the blood inside the blood vessels, then what will happen?
So sometimes
bleeding.
we can see
Bleeding purpura.
Then bleeding will happen. There are
bleeding
multiple
through
bleeding.
nose, bleeding.
Any type of bleeding, bleeding from nose, bleeding from piles, bleeding below the skin, that is called purpura, menstrual bleeding, any type of the bleeding.
Yeah, excess.
If there is an injury, there is a more bleeding. Bleeding will not stop easily. So spleen responsible controlling the blood inside the blood vessels. Question number 12. Itchy, bruising, and the spontaneous bleeding suggest
Spleen Chi deficiency failing to hold blood.
spleen Chi deficiency and failing to hold the blood. Question number 13. Failure of spleen, clear yang to rise may cause.
B. Dizziness and dull sensory organs and dull memory.
So spleen is not able to send the yang to upward. Spleen is not able to send the clear yang upward. Clear yang means the full clear yang means the yang energy want to go in the upward direction.
So is it
We
pure
can
yang?
think, wait. We can think some very, after having heavy meal, we feel lots of drowsiness. We feel lots of, okay. So why this? Because that time spleen, because after having too heavy meal, that time spleen is not able to send that yang energy upward. So we are losing the alertness and we feel drowsiness. You see, when the kids, small kids, are eating the food, even after eating the food, they immediately start jumping here and there. They are never tired, even after eating the meal. But if you see the adults, they are having very high discipline. So after eating the meal, and they start feeling too drowsy or sleepy. This is also the sign of weaker spleen. If you feel drowsy, your spleen Chi is weak. More the drowsy you feel, more the spleen is weak. As per the, okay, after having meal, it is good to take the 20-minute relaxation. You can take the 20-minute nap. But if the person is sleeping for 1 hour, 2 hours, immediately after the meal, it will further weaken the spleen. And it will create lots of dampness.
So some people say that you should walk for 10 minutes after food. Is it right?
Yeah. So we should walk for 100 meter or 10 minutes, or as per our own constitution. Okay, we can think 100 meter or 10 minutes, but we should not run after the meal. कहते हैं कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति खाना खाने के बाद दौड़ता है, ये बात आयुर्वेद की किताबों में लिखी हुई है. If the person is running means run after the meal, means उसके पीछे यमराज दौड़ते हैं. कौन दौड़ते हैं? यमराज. बिल्कुल, it's very clearly written in the Ayurveda. If the person running immediately after the meal, then Yamraj is running behind. Means that health is decreasing very fast. So after having the meal, person should walk. It is very good, but slowly, not very fast, not intensively. Okay. If you want to do the brisk walk, it is good to do before meal. So you can do one thing. You do the brisk walk for 2 kilometers or as per your capacity. Then you have the meal. There is a very good, this is also very good. After doing the brisk walk, your appetite will increase, your digestive fire will increase, then you are able to have the very good food. But after the meal, you can walk slowly. You can walk for 30 minutes also, there is no issue, but slowly. Okay.
But sir, when we do the walk after meal, the circulation diverts towards limbs. So it is not focused on the digestion system.
Actually, when we are walking now, so we are in the movement, right? When we are walking, so we are doing movements. And when we do movements, like our body in the movement, our heart is also doing movement, our blood circulation is having good movement, our lymphatic circulation is also on only when we are walk. So it is good for stomach and spleen. They are also active. So if you अगर हम ऐसा नहीं कर सकते, अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है ना, like whether we should fully rest after the meal or we should walk a little after the meal, what are the ideal things? Better digestion. What do you think?
Sir,
आपको
walk
क्या
after 40 minutes.
Before meals is better, always better.
Yeah,
नहीं,
like
आपका मुस्कान प्रश्न क्या है आपका? मतलब आपके मन में क्या है आपके? What do you think?
यही सर, क्या जब खाना अंदर जा रहा है तो मेन फोकस अपना स्टमक एंड इंस पे रहेगा ना. देन
हाँ.
जब हम वॉक पे निकल रहे हैं तो ब्लड सर्कुलेशन ओवरऑल डाइवर्ट हो रहा है. सो वो
हाँ.
फोकस स्टमक पे नहीं आ रहा है, तो उसकी
Okay, I
वजह
will
से
tell you one thing. So when we are eating the food and we are immediately lying down on the bed, so many persons start getting acid reflux because they are in the lying down position now. So many patients start getting acid reflux. Even you can see the people who eat the food in the night, like you're taking the dinner, and if they sleep immediately after the dinner, there should be at least 2 hour gap. 2 hour gap, at least 1.5 hour gap between the dinner and sleep. If the person is not having doing gap in between dinner and sleep, some of them might suffer with the acid reflux, GERD, means gastroesophageal reflux, acidity, indigestion, weight gain. They will get weight gain. Even this research has been done. This research has been done on many dogs. They have given food to dogs and they allowed to sleep immediately after the food. Then these dogs become overweight. ये रिसर्च की बहुत सारे 100 dogs पर ये रिसर्च की गई है. Even you can see, you can do on yourself. You eat the food and sleep immediately in the night.
Sir,
You will feel morning when you get up, you will not feel good. But on the other side, if you are having dinner by the 9 o'clock, then you are having some activity, maybe you're walking or you're not walking, but you're doing some or the other activity, and you sleep 11 o'clock or 11:30, you will feel digestion. Your digestion will be better. Then, if you eat the food and sleep immediately. So, if the person sleeping immediately after the meal will suffer with the food stagnation, acid reflux, weight gain, and even sluggish digestion, because spleen chi become lazy that time, and there is a lots of formation of the dampness. Okay. Now other side.
Vajrasana is also good
Wait.
after food, na?
Yeah. Vajrasana.
rather than walking, we
But
can
this
do
question
that.
is incomplete, so let me finish it first. Okay. The second thing, the other aspect, whether we should do heavy walk or intensive walk, lots of exercise immediately, it is also not good because blood need to go for digestion that time. If you do lots of exercise, you are diverting your chi in your legs because you are doing intensive workout, you are doing intensive, then your stomach also asking the blood, your leg muscle, your other muscle also asking the blood, then person might get cramps. These type of the people are getting cramps and the weakness because stomach need energy that time. So what you are thinking now, we can apply here. Stomach needs some chi. So what is the ideal thing? The ideal thing is walk slowly for 5 to 15 minutes. So it will help the stomach chi will able to descend the food downward. There will not be bloating. Because we are walking, peristalsis movement will increase. Okay, peristalsis movement also increase. So it is written in the Ayurveda that is called 100 steps. Walk 100 steps after the eating. 100 steps. Okay, but it varies 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so we can do this. So gentle movement support spleen transformation. Okay, so what we can do, so what is the ideal timetable? Okay, first we have the meal, then first 5 minutes sit calmly, if possible for you, then do Vajrasana. If not possible for you, then sit comfortably in any asana. Do not use your mobile immediately, otherwise the entire energy will move to the eyes. But you can listen music, okay, which is okay, 5 minutes is over. Then for the next 10 minutes, now you start doing slow walk, not fast. Sweating should not come. Okay, then you can do like 10 minutes you're walking, then you can start doing your work, whatever you want to do. Okay, so you can work in that way. Okay, so this is the schedule. Any question? Someone ask. Yeah, Satpadavali, that is the word here, right? Satpadavali is the word used in the Ayurveda that we should walk 100 steps after the meal. So have you, dinner is over, everyone? Dinner is over. Okay, so from today onwards, you can make it. First 5 minutes, sit comfortably in Vajrasana or in any asana without phone after the meal. Okay, my question from all of you. During the meal, we should use phone?
Not at all.
After the meal also, at least 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we should avoid the phone. Okay. And then we can do slow walk, 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, done. So now we are coming back. So, failure to spleen, clear yang, to rise may cause dizziness and dull sensory organ and dull memory. Question number 40. Spleen sinking may lead to
Prolapse and
Prolapse and
hemorrhoids.
C.
prolapse and hemorrhoid. Question number 15. The spleen control the
Muscles
C,
and
sir.
forelimbs.
muscles and
C.
forelimbs.
muscle and forelimbs. So if your forelimbs are having good strength, means your spleen is good. But your arms and legs are very weak, then you need to strengthen your spleen. Question number 16. Heaviness of the limb is often due to.
C, sir.
Dampness from weak spleen.
Weak spleen.
So
Dampness from
weak
weak.
spleen is creating dampness, and the nature of dampness is heaviness. The nature of dampness is heaviness. Wherever the dampness, it will create the heaviness. If dampness in the head, you will create dull and heavy headache. If the dampness in the abdomen, you will create dull and heavy abdomen. If dampness in the uterus, it will create heaviness in the uterus and white discharge. Because dampness is dirtiness and it will create the issue. So in this way, heaviness of the limbs is often due to dampness
Weak
from
spleen.
weak spleen. Question number 17. The spleen manifests in
Lips.
C, sir. C, lips.
Lips.
spleen is manifesting in the lips. Question number 18. Spleen opens to the
Mouth.
Mouth.
So remember one thing, spleen and stomach both often open to the
Mouth.
Mouth.
Question number 19. The sense associated with the spleen is
Taste.
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 test. If the person is not feeling test sensation, it means spleen is weak. Question number 20. The spleen is most negatively affected by.
Dampness.
Dampness. Cold.
Dampness.
So here
Dampness.
written, I will tell you, spleen is most negatively affected by
Dampness.
So try to understand what is the meaning of dampness here. Then you will get clear idea.
Sealer.
Dampness means suppose you are living in the damp home, like I told Sealan. Suppose you are sleeping on the damp floor, like cold floor, that is also damp floor. Suppose there is a cloudy weather and that is not good for spleen. Okay, spleen is not happy in the cloudy weather. Okay. And if the person is having weaker spleen, then the cloudy weather, he might suffer with some problem. So, गीले कपड़े पर सोना ओढ़ना, so that is also one type of dampness. So spleen is heavily damaged by
Dampness.
negatively damaged by dampness. Okay,
Sir, cold also affected the spleen, na?
इसमें लेकिन लिखा है cold only.
Only, that's why.
Only से गड़बड़ हो गया ना. तो अगर आपको फिर भी कंफ्यूजन है तो कोल्ड भी ये सही है, लेकिन इसमें लिखा है मोस्ट नेगेटिवली. इस क्विज को देने का पर्पज ही है कि आप यू शुड अवेयर कि who is most dangerous for the spleen, that is dampness.
The dampness is including moisture and coldness, both.
Yeah, both. Yes. But one thing I will tell you, dampness might be having connection with the coldness. Dampness also might be having connection with the heat. We will learn damp heat. We will also learn damp cold. It might be anything. Dampness का मतलब है एक तरह का कफ, रुकावट, सीलन, गंदगी, है ना, वो जो शरीर में हो जाती है जैसे दांत, खाज, खुजली, वो सब डैम्पनेस भी है, वो भी डैम्पनेस है. अंदरूनी रुकावटें, इंटरनल ब्लॉकेजेस which might be created by the dampness. So dampness is the thing which is worst for spleen. Definitely coldness also bad for spleen. Question number 20. If you are confused, then I will remove the cold from here and I will write here only.
No, sir, cold only will be wrong if we write. Because moisture, humidity will also be there, no?
अब
Energy.
सही है.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now question number 21. The flavor that resonates with the spleen is
Sweet.
Sweet.
sweet. Spleen. Now I will tell you, as per the TCM, pancreas also coming under the spleen. As per the TCM, spleen, pancreas both coming under one energy, that is earth. One element, that is earth. So many person, they always feel sweet taste in the mouth. Even they are eating something different, but they feel sweet taste in the mouth. It means there is a disharmony of the spleen. इसका अर्थ है कि स्प्लीन की डिसहार्मनी है. कई बार
anyone craves for
डायबिटिक
the
पेशेंट को
sweet?
भी ऐसा हो सकता है. Sometime diabetic patient also might be having this issue, but not always.
तो डिसहार्मनी मतलब डेफिशिएंसी कम वीक है वो या?
वो बाद में समझ में आएगा.
अच्छा ठीक है सर।
हाँ, अभी नहीं. वो
सर
बस है
क्रेविंग हो तो
स्प्लीन का
किसी को?
डिस्फंक्शन है. स्प्लीन इज इम्पेयर्ड. उसमें क्या डिस्फंक्शन है? वो उसके कई प्रकार के डिस्फंक्शन हो सकते हैं.
सर एक क्वेरी थी कि कभी कभी बहुत मीठा खाने के बाद कुछ लोगों को मीठा टेस्ट ही नहीं आता, कि मीठा लगता ही नहीं है जब द पर्टिकुलर फूड इज क्वाइट स्वीट, बट स्टिल पीपल से इतना मीठा ही नहीं है, तो दिस इज ऑल्सो साइन ऑफ डिरेंज्ड स्प्लीन.
Like, what is the reason if after eating lots of sweet, the person not feeling sweet taste? Have you seen that person eating the sweets, then after that drinking the tea, then telling, oh, whether sugar is there in the tea or not?
यस.
तो वो तो नॉर्मल बात है. आपको मीठा खिलाते हैं पहले और फिर आपको बोले कि चाय पियो, तो आपको लगेगा कि इसमें, क्योंकि उस समय क्या रहता है ना, when you are eating sweets ना, so taste perception get dull for a while. Because why sweet taste disappear after eating too much sweet? That is because you got receptors saturation.
Okay, it is not related to the spleen at all.
No, वो receptor saturation होता है.
Because there are a few patients which I get who say that very small quantities of sweet also, आधा चम्मच शुगर से भी चाय बहुत मीठी लगती है. और I have one more patient who takes at least four teaspoons of sugar, and then he'll say हाँ अब थोड़ा लग रहा है, थोड़ा sweet है ऐसा.
So I will tell you two things.
हाँ.
So point number one.
Yes,
then
sir.
point number two. So the point number one, when the person eating lots of sweets, then the sweet taste, then the taste receptors overstimulated, and they are temporarily fatigued. Okay, so because they are overstimulated, temporarily fatigued, so brain stop registering the sweetness. That is the normal thing which we are feeling. If you offer some sweets, then immediately after that you offer tea, then people are
Yes,
telling,
sir.
oh, that is normal thing. Okay, that is normal.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
now we are coming to the second thing. Point number two.
Yes,
TCM, as per the TCM perspective.
हाँ sir.
Sweet flavor also belong to spleen. Okay. If we are so if the person is having excessive sweet feeling, this is also the sign of dampness in the flame in the body. अगर व्यक्ति को, जैसे आपने जो बोला ना कि थोड़ा सा ही शक्कर दिया और उसे बहुत ज्यादा लग रहा है,
हाँ सर.
सो इफ द पर्सन इज फीलिंग, मतलब उसे लग रहा है ना कि अब दो पेशेंट है, देयर आर पेशेंट नंबर 1 एंड पेशेंट नंबर 2.
हाँ.
We are offering same sweet patient number 1 and patient number 2, and suppose patient number 3 is the normal one.
हाँ.
Okay, normal one.
हाँ sir.
Patient number 3 is telling, okay, sweet is good, neither more, neither less, it is perfect. Okay, you are normal. Patient number 1 telling, oh, there is no sweet, I'm not feeling any sweet, means we need to strengthen the spleen. हमें क्या करना है?
Spleen strengthen करना.
Strengthen करना है, spleen is weak. The patient number 2 telling, oh, there are too much sweet. It means spleen is damaged. Spleen is having already too much dampness, flame. Spleen is damaged that time, impaired.
Okay.
Not a big person will not feel sweetness. Because to feel the sweet taste, you should have strength of spleen. Okay?
Yes,
because
sir.
sweet taste is perceived by the spleen only.
Okay.
तो आपका जो पेशेंट है, जो जैसे थोड़ी सी शक्कर खाने पे ज्यादा लगती है, हो सकता है उसकी स्प्लीन डैमेज हो, है ना?
Yes, sir. I'll check when he comes tomorrow.
Sure.
Thank you,
सर
sir.
सर ऐसा भी तो होता है ना कि अगर हम यूजुअली वैसे स्वीट कम लेते हैं, चाय में कम
हम्म।
डालते हैं, हमारी वो हैबिट बन गई, तो जब हम
हाँ
उस लेवल से हमें ज्यादा मिलेंगे तो हमें लगे
yes yes
ज्यादा।
yes that is also true, that is also true,
और कुछ लोग क्या
because
है, बड़ी तेज चीनी पीते हैं, उनको जो है
yeah,
वो भी
yeah.
कम लगती है।
So
Sometimes it happen like this.
yes, the person is taking very less sugar because the health concern. Even he will take little sugar, na? Little sugar also will do more stimulation of the taste receptors. So for them,
हाँ.
the little sugar also might be giving a feeling of okay. So
सर
this
Yes,
is
अगर
sir.
also
किसी को शुगर पसंद ही नहीं है, स्वीट पसंद नहीं, इट मीन्स उसका स्प्लीन डैमेज है बहुत ज्यादा,
नहीं
Sir,
डिसलाइक्स,
वो
if the person
personal
is
बिल्कुल भी
choice है.
disliking
पसंद
the
नहीं है
sugar,
स्वीट।
Sir, वो taste preference is a personal choice, na? It cannot.
yeah,
Does
yeah,
it
इज
really?
इट
that is the
कनेक्टेड विद
that is the
स्प्लीन
right
सर?
answer. Right answer. The preference is personal choice. Suppose I will tell you nowadays, uh, many person are very like health conscious, too much health
Yes.
conscious.
Yes, sir.
And during that conditions, okay, because they knows this is, sugar is bad for health, and they are avoiding. So this is as per choice only.
सर क्योंकि एक पेशेंट थी, उनको जब स्वीट के बारे में, टेस्ट के बारे में पूछा तो वो बोलने लगी मुझे स्वीट बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं है, मैंने नॉट हेल्थ पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, बट शी डिसलाइक्स इट।
तो इसका मतलब स्प्लीन कमजोर हो सकती है उनकी।
हाँ, स्प्लीन कमजोर है, और
तो
अब
स्वीट
मोर
टेस्ट का
क्रेविंग
मतलब
है
है,
तो
सी आई विल टेल यू वन
हाँ।
मोर थिंग, if the person dislikes sweet means all sweets, like whether the sweets coming from the fruits, whether the sweets coming from banana, whether the sweets coming from pomegranate, all the sweets should be disliked.
यस सर।
If the person dislike only sugar, he
नहीं,
might be not
एनी
taking it
टाइप ऑफ
because of
स्वीट शी डजंट लाइक सर, एनी
then
टाइप ऑफ
spleen,
स्वीट्स।
weakness of the spleen, 100%. Yeah.
और क्रेविंग आल्सो वीक स्प्लीन, क्रेविंग हो तो भी वीक, डैम्पनेस ज्यादा है।
सर इसमें ऐसा है ना कि हम लोग क्या है कि जब पेशेंट को डायग्नोज करते हैं तो कई बार जैसे मसल वीक हम पूछते हैं डू यू लाइक स्वीट्स,
हाँ
कहते हैं खाने के बाद में मीठा लगा अच्छा लगता है, तो हमारा एक सिम्टम मिल जाता है कि स्प्लीन वीक है इसकी, तो हमें मसल पर कुछ काम करना पड़ेगा, तो कई बार ये सिम्टम
नहीं, actually this is
देते हैं।
also the habit. Many person, if you go, in the many family, this is the habit that after meal they eat the sweets. So this is also the question of habits. Like if you go in the different part of the India, they are having different habits. Okay, like if you go in the Gujarat,
नहीं
after
सब
meal, everyone take buttermilk,
सर कुछ लोगों को
buttermilk.
ऐसा लगता है ना कि खाने के बाद क्रेविंग होती है, जैसे अगर मिलना ही मिलना चाहिए, तो वहाँ कभी हम लोग थोड़ा सा सोचते हैं उस तरफ कि स्प्लीन की तरफ हमें कुछ काम करना पड़ेगा।
Like it might be normal also. So you have to you have to cross verify with more symptoms, because we are having multiple symptoms. So we will cross verify, because I will tell you once again, if you go in the Rajasthan, in the very North India, and maybe Jyotika ji, you are from Jaipur, sweets is there na after the meal?
पापड़ पापड़ वापड़ खाते हैं सर।
Sweet नहीं होती क्या?
स्वीट भी होता है बट हाँ थोड़ा सा करते हैं, बट ज्यादातर पापड़
Okay.
वगैरह खाते हैं।
गुड़ खाते हैं सर, गुड़।
But if you go in the many Marwadis families, they are
हाँ,
having sweets for
यस
100%.
ऑलवेज।
Okay,
यस सर।
always. So it is the questions of habits also. Habits also.
सर
We
सर
can't.
सर बंगाली लोग और गुजराती वो तो खाने में हमेशा ही स्वीट डालते हैं सब, तो वो उसमें वो कौन सी कैटेगरी
वो
में
अलग है
आएंगे?
वो।
Sir, but that is the method of preparation, ना?
If
गुजराती लोगों
someone
का मेथड ऑफ प्रिपरेशन है, जैसे कोकणस्थ मराठी लोगों
Yeah,
में
so I
उनमें
will
भी
tell
हम
you.
गुड़ डालते हैं।
लेकिन
if
डेली
someone has to eat sweets after every meal, is the spleen weak then?
No, no, no. That's why we're discussing.
Uh-huh.
It's the habits of, as per the culture, people are preparing their food. As per their culture, they are eating the foods. So we can't reach as per the conclusion just by these eating habits. So what we have to do? We have to see more symptoms.
No.
Okay.
Because for
Then
me,
only
when
we can't tell, okay, you are eating the sweets after the meal means your spleen is weak. No, no, no. Nothing like that. People are eating sweets
अगरबत्ती लेके
because
आ कहीं
sweet,
से।
wait, sweet nourishes the spleen. Remember,
क्या लेके आ पुत्र?
sweet nourishes the spleen. Okay, sweet spleen को nourishment provide करती है। ठीक है, चलिए क्वेश्चन नंबर नेक्स्ट। if the person is having weakness of the spleen or the low BP, as soon as we give the sweet, person will feel energetic. So too much sugar weakness, the spleen, okay, too much sugar weakens the spleen because
it creates stagnation and dampness.
yeah. So too much sugar weakens the spleen because it creates
Stagnation
stagnation
and dampness.
and dampness.
Please, if you can just enlarge a little bit. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So it's create stagnation and the dampness. Question number 23. The posture that overburden the spleen is
Sitting too much.
Standing.
Sitting too much.
Standing.
वो कौन सा posture है?
Standing.
Which posture
Sitting
that
too
overburden the spleen? Standing, walking, running, or sitting too much?
Standing.
Sir, standing.
Standing
too much.
will weaken.
Sitting too much.
Sitting से lungs weak होगा ना.
Yeah, sitting too much will weaken the lungs. sir.
Lungs.
I will tell you, spleen like gentle movement. If the person is sitting too much, then it damaged the prolonged sitting and overthinking. These two things are very bad for a spleen. So if the person is sitting too much, it will be the worst for spleen. It will overburden the spleen. Okay, so sitting injured the spleen. Okay, spleen governs the transformation of the food. The main responsibility of the spleen is to transform the food into food chi. Okay, but if the person is sitting too long, it will slow movement in the part where spleen is located. Then it will create chi stagnation, dampness, poor digestion, heaviness, bloating, and all the symptoms, and ultimately overweight. Okay, so we have to now regarding the if the person is standing too much. Suppose let's talk about the standing too long. Okay, so standing too long also not good, but the standing too long mainly bad for kidney. If the person is standing too long, then it is bad for kidney. But remember one thing, anything where little movement is not there is bad for spleen. Okay, anything which is where movement is not there. So spleen means if you want to keep the spleen healthy, then do the gentle
Float. Bath.
Yeah. So question number 23 answer will be sitting too much. Question number 24. The virtue of spleen is
Trust and
Wisdom.
reliability.
trust and reliability. So when you are doing business with anyone, or when you are doing marriage with anyone, or when you are doing partnership with anyone, or when you are lending money to someone, you see if spleen is good, then only you go forward. स्प्लीन अच्छी है तो ही आगे बढ़ना उसकी. Good spleen means the sign of trust and reliability. And if the person is having very weaker spleen, so it might be the person might not be that much trustworthy. But कहते हैं ना कोरिलेट क्लिनिकली और भी वेरीफाई करो, इतनी चीज से अकेले से काम नहीं चलेगा, उसका और पुराना प्रीवियस डॉक्यूमेंट भी देख लीजिएगा.
तो फिर लिप्स को देख के और अगर सपोजिंग अपने बच्चे की शादी के लिए अगर कोई करना है तो
उसके लिप्स अच्छे होना चाहिए.
लिप्स ठीक होने चाहिए.
Does that mean, so does that mean if someone is very trustworthy, then
Yeah.
their spleen won't be weak?
No, spleen good means person is trustworthy. Trust like suppose you are very trustworthy. I will tell you sometime, but there are very important thing. Sometimes some symptoms are physically different and mentally different. Maybe a person is having big spleen and these symptoms appear in the body. But mentally, this person is having a stronger spleen. We have seen many persons, they are having different constitution physically and mentally. Spleen is responsible for making the person reliable and trustworthy. अगर स्प्लीन अच्छी होगी तो व्यक्ति के ऊपर हम विश्वास कर सकते हैं, है ना, वो विश्वास करने योग्य है। लेकिन फिर भी आप क्रॉस वेरीफाई करिए क्योंकि दूसरे फैक्टर्स भी काम करते हैं। There are many other factors also there, so they also will affect the nature.
Sir, spleen also connected with the learning and memory also, na sir. Wisdom is also connected with the
Wisdom.
Kidney.
Wisdom
Wisdom
fires.
is connected with which element?
Fire.
Actually, there is a little bit difference between intellect and wisdom. Little bit differences are there. थोड़े थोड़े अंतर होते हैं, है ना, इन सभी प्रकार के इमोशंस में. Like I will tell you, learning and the memory is different. Some person is learning very fast. Some person is having good memory, but it is not necessary that person is having wisdom also. एक व्यक्ति बहुत इंटेलिजेंट है, okay, the person is having sharp brain, the person can understand very fast, the person can process the knowledge very fast, the person is very logical, analytic. So we will tell, like we can see many doctors, many high intellectual persons, we can tell they are having good spleen, they are having good intellect, but wisdom is the different thing. विजडम तो अंगूठे छाप के व्यक्ति के पास भी हो सकता है अच्छा वाला. विजडम इज एबिलिटी टू लिव करेक्टली, मीन्स whatever you know and whatever you doesn't not knowing, but wisdom means to apply what you apply. Okay, what you live in your life, आप अपनी लाइफ में कैसे जीते हो. So person means wisdom is entirely, we can tell the deep understanding of the life is wisdom. The right judgment is the wisdom. Intellectual person can take wrong decision also. Wisdom means we have taken lots of experience in the life. We have gone through with lots of ups and downs in the life. Now we are taking that decision on the based of our experiences. That is wisdom.
We can differentiate between what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah, so what is right, that is wisdom, and what is correct, that is learning. See, you will tell, oh, this is correct, but this might not be wisdom, है ना.
Decision making power is wisdom.
By liver.
Decision making power is not wisdom. विजडम का अर्थ होता है कि आप, जैसे उदाहरण के लिए, कि विजडम का मतलब होता है कि एक होता है एक्सपीरियंस्ड बेस्ड लर्निंग, है ना. डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर तो किसी के पास बचपन हो सकती है, लाइक डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर, some people having decision making power, some person is not, might not be having decision making power, but wisdom means a very deep understanding of your life. जैसे हम कहते हैं जो गुरु होते हैं, है ना, जो गुरु होते हैं, जो बहुत ही कहते हैं संत महात्मा लोग होते हैं, हो सकता है उनके पास इतनी अच्छी मेमोरी ना हो, लेकिन उनके पास विजडम होता है. दे आर हैविंग विजडम. ओके, उनके पास एक रियल नॉलेज होती है. दैट इज नॉट बुकिश नॉलेज, दैट इज नॉट कमिंग फ्रॉम द मेमोरी, that is coming from some inner part of the body. Okay, that is the wisdom. Got it? So intellect means education. इंटेलेक्ट कहाँ से आता है? एजुकेशन से। और विजडम कहाँ से आता है? अवेयरनेस से, लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस से। द वन पर्सन माइट नॉट बी एजुकेटेड बट हैविंग ग्रेट विजडम, अच्छा विजडम हो सकता है उसके पास। ओके,
सर जैसे फायर है,
सर
फायर
वन थिंग
एलिमेंट है,
तो
उसमें
विजडम किसका है?
इंटेलिजेंस
विजडम फ्रॉम किडनी। विजडम कहाँ से आता है?
अच्छा
किडनी।
sir, actually, this is my just personal was related to spleen also. Actually, right now I'm 71. So, for the past few months, I'm realizing I'm forgetting few names. Although I remember all the old things, but some current things I'm just missing. Sometimes, supposing I go to market and my give me tell me just bring these five things. I forget one. Okay, what were the five things? So this is happening for the last 4 months. So what type of deficiency is this?
Actually, this is not abnormal thing. I don't think this is the abnormal thing. Okay,
Hmm.
this is a very natural thing.
Yeah, this is
If the
very.
person are telling you 5, 10 things, you might forget one thing. That's why we are keeping diary. So ये तो normal सी बात है, ये तो सब
No,
बोलते
sometimes
हैं।
no, it's very small things, some eatable things which I'm all the time taking, but just forget I'm discussing something. I forgot that name.
But see, I will tell you, there are 3 points. Point number 1, it might not be abnormal thing, it might be normal thing. Point number 2, it might be because you are already having too much things to they are processing from your mind. Too much thing, maybe about your profession, about your family, about something happen in good or bad in the life. Lots of processing happening.
Hmm.
So that's why you start getting you forgetting. The third thing, maybe some deficiency start happening. Some maybe spleen is getting deficient. Okay, this is third option. Third thing might happen. Maybe there is a spleen change deficient.
Hmm.
So that's why it's happening. Or
Okay.
memory is not coming only from spleen. Memory is coming from spleen, but as well
Kidney
as from
also.
the heart.
Okay, hard. Okay.
Kidney is not directly connected, but heart and spleen connected. It might happen. I'm telling as per TCM. I'm not telling as per modern. Like I'm not telling as per like modern perspective, like vitamin B12 deficiency or D12 whatever. I'm just telling as per the perspective of our TCM, right? Okay. So no, nothing to sorry. It's okay. Your view is okay. Welcome. No problem at all. So let's proceed for the next two. Okay. So virtue of spleen is trust and reliability. Okay. Question number 25. The Shen aspect of the spleen is called
E.
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 Why
E means
high?
intellect. What the E means? Intellect.
Intellectual.
Question number 26. E is mainly related to.
Thinking, learning, and
Thinking,
intention.
learning,
E.
and intention.
So thinking, learning, and the intention. Question number 27. The main emotion that damages the spleen is
D.
Worry
and
and
overthinking.
overthinking.
D.
worry and overthinking. Question number last. Flame is produced in the spleen but is stored in the.
Lung.
Lung.
Please remember this line. Flame is produced in spleen but is stored in the.
Lung.
So whenever the person is having lots of kapha, lots of problem, which is respiratory problems, lots of stories of the kapha in the lungs, we cannot forget spleen because it forms in spleen but deposited in the lungs. कफ का निर्माण स्प्लीन के कमजोरी से होता है लेकिन वो जमा हो जाता है लंग्स में. So this is the completion of quiz number 1. किसी के पूरे क्वेश्चन सही थे? Anyone is
Sir.
having all the question correct? 100% question correct?
One question wrong, sir. Standing.
Okay, anyone is having only 3 question wrong. 1 to 3 question wrong.
Sir, 4
Other correct?
questions wrong.
दो क्वेश्चन गलत, दो क्वेश्चन.
Okay, anyone is
3
having
question
only
wrong, sir.
5 question wrong, all are the correct. Okay.
तीन क्वेश्चन
And
गलत.
anyone felt a very difficult quiz? Anyone felt very difficult?
No
3
sir.
question wrong.
3, 4 is okay. No problem.
3 क्वेश्चन wrong.
That is good. Okay, let's. हाँ
सर
बोलिए.
एक बच्ची है 16 इयर्स की. उनको सुबह सुबह जैसे उठता है बच्चा, चाहे वो 10 बजे उठे चाहे वो 11 बजे उठे, उसको छींकें आएंगी और छींकों में ही उसको नोज से ही ज्यादा होता है और कभी कभी खांसी के थ्रू भी, बट वो होता मॉर्निंग में ही है. तो वो स्प्लीन डेफिशिएंसी ही होगी?
नहीं. This might not be spleen deficiency. Okay, it might be the combination, or it might be lung qi deficiency. Okay, it might be lung qi deficiency. We will
अगर नोज
discuss.
से ही आता तो भी?
हाँ क्यों नहीं, नोज का, नोज तो लंग्स का ही विंडो है.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we will discuss it. The frequent cough and cold, prone to catch cough and cold in the lungs. हम लंग में डिस्कस करेंगे इसका.
सर मेरा एक कंफ्यूजन था.
हाँ.
आप कहते हैं कि ये जो कफ कहीं भी जमा हो जाता है, तो हार्ट में भी तो कफ जमा हो सकता है सर. स्प्लीन ही तो बनाती है कफ.
देखो, अगर आप मॉडर्न के हिसाब से देखोगे, मतलब अगर आप जैसे मॉडर्न मेडिसिन के हिसाब से देखोगे, तो हार्ट में कफ जमा नहीं होता है ना, क्योंकि जगह नहीं है कफ जमा होने की. But as per the TCM, ABC, the kapha, the very fine form of the kapha called phlegm, it can deposit over the lung. It can deposit in the heart. I will tell you how. कभी किसी ने, छोटे ने गाली बक दी है ना, या कभी किसी से लड़ाई हो गई, कभी फील किया होगा, कभी बहुत इंसल्टिंग फील हो गया आपको, कुछ हार्ट में भारीपन लगता है. वो क्या है? वो फ्लेम है. व्हाट इज दैट? सो फ्लेम इज इनविजिबल. क्या होती है फ्लेम? इनविजिबल होती है, बट इट क्रिएट ट्रमेंडस प्रॉब्लम. ये 5 किलो के वजन से भी ज्यादा खतरनाक होती है. इवन इट्स इनविजिबल, है ना. आपने चंद्रमुखी मूवी देखी है?
नहीं सर.
नहीं देखी? अच्छा.
उसमें टीवी सीरियल,
हाँ,
टीवी में सीरियल आता था चंद्रमुखी.
मूवी है चंद्रमुखी.
नहीं देखी सर.
उसमें क्या होती है ना कि एक हीरोइन के अंदर एक आत्मा आ जाती है किसी की, और जैसे वो आत्मा प्रवेश करती है, उसके अंदर 10-20 गुना पावर आ जाती है. वो एक हाथ से पलंग उठा देती है. वो फ्लेम इज दैट मच पावर. घोस्ट इज फ्लेम. एज पर TCM, घोस्ट आर फ्लेम्स. फ्लेम भी. तो घोस्ट, हम एक्यूपंक्चर में घोस्ट का भी ट्रीटमेंट करते हैं.
हाँ सर, 13 घोस्ट पॉइंट है ना सर.
है ना, करते हैं उसका घोस्ट का ट्रीटमेंट.
राइट सर.
तो फ्लेम, अब घोस्ट दिखता है क्या? नहीं दिखता, लेकिन है तो कहीं तो रखना पड़ेगा. तो व्हाट इज घोस्ट? घोस्ट इज फ्लेम.
Yes.
You want to remove the ghost, you have to expel the flame. So if there is a flame over the heart which is not having any, उसको नापोगे तराजू में, कोई वजन नहीं उसका, but still it's create tremendous heaviness, where so the person will tell, oh, I am feeling someone on my chest and or pressing my neck. कुछ लोग बोलेंगे कि रात को लगता है कोई गला घोंट रहा है, कोई छाती पे चढ़ गया है. That all are flame. Okay, it might be that invisible power also. I don't know, because I'm not knowing about this, but that is we have, if this person is coming to you have to remove the flame. आपको flame को निकालना होगा. Or if you want to remove the flame, you have to work on spleen. Definitely, spleen
Spleen should be strengthened.
is creating the flame. If your
Sir,
spleen is strong, if your spleen is strong, ghost cannot enter in your body. भूत को आपके शरीर में प्रवेश करने के लिए पहले आपकी स्प्लीन कमजोर होना चाहिए. क्योंकि if ghost want to enter in your body, he need flame, but if the spleen is stronger, you can't having room to stay. Okay, so that's why this is the thing. So that flame is different.
Sir, is there connection of flame with dyslipidemia cholesterol?
लिपिड डिसलिपिडीमिया
हाँ कोलेस्ट्रॉल से
वो
flame
सब
का
बाद में
connection.
आएगा. अभी नहीं है. बीमारियों के नाम, डिसीज पैटर्न, लिपिड का ट्रीटमेंट सब बाद में आएगा. अभी नहीं है ना. अभी हम बेसिक सब समझ रहे हैं. Okay? सब बाद में हम इसका ट्रीटमेंट समझेंगे. लिपिड विपिड सबका ट्रीटमेंट.
सर एक क्वेश्चन था, हर्निया क्या स्प्लीन डिफिशिएंसी की वजह से होता है? ग्रोइंग एरिया में जो हर्निया,
कौन सा हर्निया?
स्प्लीन की सिंक.
इंग्लियोर
Inguinal hernia.
Because there are many type of hernia, umbilical hernia, inguinal hernia, femoral hernia. In the male, inguinal hernia is common. So definitely any type of the hernia, spleen is responsible, but in the umbilical hernia there is a structural weakness also responsible. In umbilical hernia, क्योंकि umbilical hernia की आप अगर देखोगे ना, so the part of some intestine coming, वो old age में या एक adult age के बाद due to the weakness of the pelvic floor and due to the weakness of the canal, some part is coming. So that is because of many other combination, structural weakness also, but spleen is definitely responsible. Spleen is responsible for all type of hernia. If hernia means something displaced from their original position, then definitely we have to work on the spleen. Okay. Yeah. So now we are coming to the quiz number 2.
So can I ask a question?
Okay, after few questions. After few questions, you can ask me.
Okay.
So question number 1, spleen meridian belong to which category?
In meridian.
Meridian.
Question 2, the element of the spleen in the 5-element theory is
Earth.
Earth. Question number 3, the paired young organ of the spleen is
Stomach.
Stomach. Question number 4, the main theme of the spleen in TCM is
Nourishment and transformation.
nourishment and transformation. The question number 5, the spleen channel begins at
Big toe.
Big toe. Question number 6, spleen meridian travels mainly along the
Inner medial leg.
inner medial leg. Question number 7. Okay, this over. Inner medial leg. Now we are coming to the question number 7. Spleen is most important for transforming food
Chi
into
and blood.
Chi and blood. Question number 8. A common sign of the weak spleen digestion is
Fatigue after meals and bloating.
Fatigue after meal and bloating.
If the spleen is weak, then person will fatigue after the meal and feel bloating. Question number 9. The spleen is called the root of
Post-heaven chi.
Post-heaven chi.
Post-heaven chi means the energy we are getting after our birth from the food. That is post-heaven chi. Question number 10. Spleen control blood by
Holding blood inside vessels.
holding blood inside the blood vessels. Question number 11. Easy bruising and the heavy menstrual bleeding indicates
Spleen chi deficiency.
Spleen chi deficiency.
spleen chi deficiency. Question number 12. Spleen governs the
Muscles and forelimbs.
Forelimbs.
muscles and forelimbs. So remember, this is a very important question. If the person is having weakness of the forelimbs, not able to walk on the legs are not strong and cannot take the body weight, पैर इतने मजबूत नहीं है कि शरीर का वजन उठा सके, तो हम स्प्लीन को ट्रीट करेंगे. Question number 13. Heaviness in the body and sticky stool suggest
Dampness due to weak spleen.
if the spleen is weak, it will create dampness and which will create sticky stool. Question number 14. Failure of spleen chi to raise upward may lead to
Dizziness and brain
Dizziness
fog.
and brain fog.
If the spleen is weak, then it will not able to raise the
Chi
chi
above.
upward, will create dizziness and brain fog. Question number 15. Spleen chi sinking can cause
Prolapse of
Or hemorrhoids.
prolapse and hemorrhoid. Question number 16. Spleen opens into the
mouth.
Wow.
spleen opens into the mouth.
Mouth.
Okay. Then question number 17. The spleen manifests in the
Lips.
lips. Question number 18. The emotion that most affect the spleen is
Worry and overthinking.
worry and overthinking. Question number 19. The Shen aspect of the spleen is called
E.
Question number
By
20.
eye.
Which point is famous for draining dampness in the body?
SP9.
That's benign.
Actually, you're not knowing this, but I will discuss later on this point. If we want to expel the dampness, if we want to work on the swelling, then this water point of the spleen, that is spleen 9, is the best point. You will
Spleen 9.
understand this later on.
So have you
Spleen 9
discussed
was a great
location?
point for swelling. It is a very good point for swelling.
So location
Okay, now we are
आपको
moving
बता
to
दिया
the
क्या?
सर क्वेश्चन नंबर 19 का आंसर
Location.
क्या है?
E.
D. E. By eye.
Do you have any question from this quiz?
सर शू
सर
पॉइंट्स
से लोकेशंस बता दिए हैं क्या? मतलब
क्या?
नहीं बताया। फाइव शो लोकेशन स्प्लीन के।
थर्ड क्विज इसलिए करी नहीं
बता
मैंने।
दिए
बता दिया yesterday.
बता दिए थे
स्प्लीन
स्प्लीन
का
के।
सब कुछ बता दिया है, स्प्लीन का कुछ भी बाकी नहीं है।
Yesterday I had attended, but I don't know.
सर
I've not.
नहीं शायद।
Yesterday you attended?
Yes, sir. But
Day
I
before
missed
yesterday?
day
Yes,
before I did not. I could not.
Why?
So guests were there at home, so I had to attend them. Old
सर ने
people.
बता दी
Old
That's why
locations.
so you can see the recording. No
Yeah,
issue.
I will.
Okay. So now we are moving to the quiz number 3. Which is the Jingwell point of the spleen?
SP1.
Question number 2. Spleen 1 is mainly used for
Stopping bleeding.
Emergency.
disorder.
very important. Spleen 1 is very good for emergency condition because spleen is holding the blood inside the blood vessels, and if there is a bleeding disorders, it is an emergency condition of the body. We can work on the spleen 1.
Linked with liver 1.
Yeah, we can use with the liver. Very good. Which is the yin spring point of the spleen?
SP2.
SP2.
Question number 4. Spleen 2 best for?
Clearing
Clearing
bacteria.
damp
Damp heat. Diarrhea.
So because we know the second point, the spring point, are very good for heat, removing the heat. So here clearing the damp heat, like, okay, diarrhea. This you will understand in the pattern. Okay. Question number 5. Which is the sue stream point of the spleen?
SP3.
SP3. Spleen 9 is best known for treating
Edema and
Edema
damp
and
retention.
retention.
spleen 9 is one of the great point for edema, for swelling, for dampness, retention, for collection of the dampness. Question number 7. Which is the Jing river point of the spleen?
SP5.
Question number 8. Which is the Hisi point of the spleen?
SP9.
SP9. Very good. So all the quiz done. Now you can ask any questions if you have.
सर सेकंड का एक बार रिपीट कीजिए प्लीज।
सेकंड क्विज में थर्ड
क्विज
क्विज का
थर्ड
सेकंड क्वेश्चन।
सेकंड क्वेश्चन क्विज थर्ड सेकंड क्वेश्चन सर।
So third quiz, second question. Spleen 1 is mainly used for, because we know spleen is holding blood inside the blood vessels. That is a function of the spleen. So if the person is having bleeding, we have to treat the spleen. Now they're asking spleen 1. We know spleen 1 is the first point, Jingwell point. We are using for emergency. So if some person is having bleeding disorders, we can use it. Okay. Spleen 1 is
We
good
treat
for.
the inguinal hernia with acupuncture, sir.
Hernia is a surgical condition. Sometimes we can treat, sometimes we can't.
So it's based on
Because
its,
see, when something dislocate from its original position, like suppose if it is the question of disc, it might come back. like prolapse of disc we can treat. But the herniation of the disc needs some little bit proper exercise, and even we can treat that also. But hernia is sometimes it might be surgical conditions.
Through yoga, can we treat it, sir?
What?
Yoga, some exercises and
Hernia?
yoga.
Yes.
Yes.
I've seen many persons. They suffered with a hernia. Doctor told of surgery, but they just cured them with a proper yoga only.
सर हर्निया का ट्रीटमेंट इलेक्ट्रो होम्योपैथी में बहुत बढ़िया है सर।
हाँ होगा, एक्यूपंक्चर में भी है, नो डाउट, एक्यूपंक्चर में भी ट्रीटमेंट है, इलेक्ट्रो होम्योपैथी में भी होगा। लेकिन क्या होता है ना, हर्निया कई प्रकार का होता है ना, हाइटस हर्निया,
सेवन टाइप ऑफ हर्निया,
ऑल टाइप ऑफ हर्निया।
हाँ जी, ऑल टाइप ऑफ हर्निया का ट्रीटमेंट बहुत बढ़िया।
But I will tell you, there are many different hernia, all hernia having different type of
हाइटस हर्निया सर, इंगुअल हर्निया,
okay, good.
तो अम्बिलिकल हर्निया सर।
मैंने जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल आई ट्रीटेड वन पेशेंट ऑफ द इंग्वानल hernia. Okay, I treated one patient with the inguinal hernia with the master tongue acupuncture. In the master tongue acupuncture, there is a 1 point, 11.01234. That's a very good point for her. After treatment, he got miraculous result in one sitting.
सर एक क्वेश्चन है सर, क्या जो हम किसी को भी हम एक्यूपंक्चर करते हैं तो उसको दोबारा कितने दिनों बाद करना चाहिए, कितनी सीटिंग देनी चाहिए सर?
एक्यूपंक्चर जो होता है ना, कि we should do the acupuncture treatment 2 times or 3 times in a week, because excessive treatment might cause problems. It might cause weakness, especially if you are doing excessive treatment with the old person and with the weak person, it might bring tremendous weakness and tiredness. So we should do treatment like we are doing 3 treatment in a week, for example. Then if we are completing 10 to 12 treatment, after that give little handsome break. Handsome break means 7 to 10 days. If required, then repeat the treatment. If not required, then treatment is over. Okay. If required, some patient is having to chronic problem and need more intervention, then in this way you can repeat 3 to 4 times. Okay. Suppose if the person is having very deep or chronic level problem, then do the 10 to 12 sessions. That also alternately. Then after that, you can go for break for 7 to 10 days or even little more. Then you can again start the treatment in this. Right now, I cannot discuss the treatment. See, I can't jump randomly. I will tell you very clearly. I have to go very systematically. Okay. I will go first. Definitely, I will tell the treatment of hernia also, but systematically.
सर हॉरेरी पॉइंट की क्लास कब लगाएंगे?
इसकी
some people
हॉरेरी पॉइंट
रुक जाइए, थोड़ा सा रुक जाइए, अभी कुछ समय और रुकना पड़ेगा, फिर हम लगाएंगे इसकी।
So, I want to ask, some people when they're sleeping, drool comes out of their mouth. Is that a sign of weak spleen?
Yeah, yes.
Spleen की deficiency.
So drooling saliva. What is the meaning as per TCM? Drooling saliva. Actually, drooling saliva is one type of the motor nerve. It might be simple. It might be many person are having dribbling saliva. When they sleep, the saliva comes from the mouth. तो इसमें ये मोटर वीकनेस के कारण भी हो सकता है, उनको मोटर वीकनेस है इसके कारण हो सकता है। और
And some people, some people when they're speaking, they spit, they're just like it's coming out of the mouth, is that a sign of weak spleen as well?
So let's talk one by one. First, we will talk about the drooling saliva a little more. So there are two types of saliva. One is the thin saliva, another is a thick saliva. If there is a thin saliva, it is made by spleen. If it is a thick saliva, it is made by kidney. So if you see many kids are having mental retardation, they are and saliva is drooling out, but that saliva is thick saliva. So it is because of which type of disharmony? Spleen or kidney? Kidney. So kidney is due to the kidney. Okay. Now, if this saliva is very thin, then we can understand this is the chronic deficiency of spleen. So we can understand this is the deficiency of spleen. So we have to see saliva in this way. Okay. What is the second question?
The second question is some people, adults, when they're speaking, their spit splatters everywhere.
Okay.
When you stand next to the person, it's just the spit is just all over the place. I don't know why that happens, but I've seen it in some people.
I think that is also like maybe the problem of the denture, problem of the mouth. है ना, वो डेंटिस्ट लोग आपको ज्यादा बेटर बता सकते हैं, आई थिंक सो. मतलब ऐसा कुछ टीसीएम में तो आई हैव टू सी कि ऐसा लोग क्यों करते हैं. लेकिन वन थिंग इज क्लियर, if the spit is coming out while talking, इट्स जैसे उस वाली कौन सी मूवी थी हमारी, थ्री इडियट मूवी थी ना, थ्री इडियट मूवी थी क्या,
सर
कौन सी मूवी
जावेद
थी?
थ्री
हाँ
इडियट्स
हाँ
था.
हाँ,
थ्री
कौन सी
इडियट्स.
मूवी थी? थ्री इडियट ही थी
थ्री
ना.
इडियट्स में था प्रोफेसर स्पिट करता.
हाँ, तो थ्री इडियट मूवी में क्या होता है ना कि वो विधा की मास्क लगा के बात कर रहा था, समथिंग लाइक दैट. सो इट माइट बी बिकॉज ऑफ द ओरल, कुछ कारण हो सकता है, बट
सर ये हो सकता है
टू
कि
फाइंड आउट.
सर ये हो सकता है कि एक्सेस जो मुंह में सलाइवा आता रहता है कंटिन्यूअसली, तो ये हो सके ऐसा.
हाँ, ये हो सकता
सलाइवा,
है, इट माइट बी देयर,
या
है ना, क्योंकि वो मतलब ये बात सही है आपकी कि सलाइवा कंट्रोल इज पुअर.
यस, एक्सेस
ये
आ
बात सही
रहा है ना, तो वो
हाँ,
कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाता है.
थोड़ा
तो
ये भी हो सकता है. व्हाट आई थिंक it might be because of the muscle control of the lips and the mouth is weak, है ना. But definitely spleen chi deficiency is there. That is for sure.
Sir, we need
Because
to
spleen
treat
chi
the
deficiency
spleen
will
then,
be there.
isn't it?
Why? Because spleen is governing the muscles and spleen open in the mouth. That we know. Spleen open in the mouth. So if the lips are not strong and the person is not closing the lips strongly, it means spleen is weak. Mouth muscles are not strong, then spleen is weak. And saliva is going out while talking, it means also spleen is weak. Okay. So it might be the sign of weakness of the spleen. You can little more research on this.
Thank you.
सर अगर स्प्लीन वीक है तो सलाइवा ज्यादा कैसे करेगी? नहीं करेगी ना अगर वीक है तो.
जैसे किडनी वीक होती है ना, तो थिक सलाइवा निकलता है ज्यादा.
हाँ.
स्प्लीन वीक होती है तो थिन सलाइवा ज्यादा निकलता है ना.
So the quantity is not more.
Quantity?
But the quality of saliva is different. Is that what you're saying?
No. जैसे for example, many person are sleeping in the night.
Yes.
And when they get up in the morning, na, you can see saliva.
हाँ sir.
That is
Dry
because that is due to weak spleen. They don't have control over the saliva.
Okay.
The drooling saliva, like I have seen many patients, they are having lots of worry, they're not having lots of tension in the family. And during these very highly stressful lifetime, when they sleep, they get up in the morning and we can see the salivary secretion. That is because of the weaker spleen.
Okay.
So weaker spleen means there is no control on the lips, there is no control on the mouth muscles, the thin saliva formation, and it's a drooling out.
Yeah.
Not-
Though we are not talking about the quantity, we are talking about the control of the muscles.
Yeah. Because there is a continuously formation of the saliva all the time.
Yes.
Whenever continuously formation. Okay.
Yes.
If the mouth is open, then it will drool out.
Yes.
सर सलाइवरी
Thank you,
ग्लैंड
sir.
की प्रॉब्लम भी हो सकती है ना सर?
क्या?
सलाइवरी ग्लैंड की प्रॉब्लम भी हो सकती है सर?
पर उसमें कम
ज्यादा
होता है
सलाइवा
ना, अगर कैलकुलस या फिर ब्लॉकेज है तो कम होगा ना,
देखो
बढ़ेगा नहीं ना, अगर
salivary gland
पैरोटिड
की
का
प्रॉब्लम
प्रॉब्लम
हो
है।
सकती है, लेकिन हम टीसीएम के अकॉर्डिंगली उसको अगर देखेंगे तो हमें ग्लैंड्स पर जाने की जरूरत नहीं है।
ओके
हम
सर,
टीसीएम के अकॉर्डिंगली जब ट्रीटमेंट करेंगे तो अब देखो थिन सलाइवा भी सलाइवरी ग्लैंड से निकलेगा, थिक सलाइवा भी सलाइवरी ग्लैंड से निकलेगा,
ओके
सलाइवा
सर,
भी जाके
हाँ
सलाइवरी
सर।
ग्लैंड से निकलेंगे। तो हम उसे अपने टीसीएम के देख रहे हैं, अरे थिक सलाइवा मींस किडनी पैटर्न, थिन सलाइवा मींस स्प्लीन पैटर्न। अगर हम उसे एक अलग पर्सपेक्टिव से देखेंगे तो सलाइवरी ग्लैंड्स भी आगे दोनों, फिर तो हमारे किडनी और स्प्लीन के दोनों पर्सपेक्टिव ही गायब हो जाएंगे फिर तो, है ना?
जी सर, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सही सही सही।
हाँ सर, थैंक यू।
सर कल आपने 80-36 को मोक्सा लगाने के लिए बोला था ना, डायरिया के लिए?
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है जसविंदर जी।
हेलो,
अभी सुन रहे?
हाँ बोलिए, अब बोलिए।
जी मेरा है ना, मेरा आवाज तो सुन रहे हैं ना?
हाँ
आपने
आप थोड़ी
कल
कम आ रही है लेकिन चलेगा, इट्स ओके। हाँ
कल आपने 80-36 को मोक्सा लगाने के लिए बोला था ना, ये डायरिया के लिए।
हाँ
स्प्लीन का तकलीफ तो स्प्लीन का है ना, वो स्टमक 36 में वो कैसे काम करेगा?
अच्छा, ओके। सो योर क्वेश्चन इज दिस, द प्रॉब्लम विद द स्प्लीन बट व्हाई वी आर ट्रीटिंग स्टमक, ओके? Okay. Actually, there are many points. Like I will tell you, there are many points to treat the spleen. There are many points to treat the spleen. But you know, best point to strengthen the spleen is
CV6,
spleen को
CV12,
strengthen करने कौन सा point है?
CV12.
CV6, CV12, ST36.
No. Okay. One point which is best. That is CV12. Okay. There are many points. They might be on the other meridian. Stomach 36, one of the great point to strengthen the spleen. One of the great point. स्टमक 36 को जब हम ऑक्सीडेशन करते हैं तो ये आग लगा देता है स्प्लीन में। मतलब आग लगाने का मतलब उसे गर्म कर देता है। स्टमक 36, यू कैन सी द रूट ऑफ द स्टमक मेरिडियन। जब आप स्टमक मेरिडियन का रूट देखोगे ना, then you will find the stomach meridian also crossing the spleen. So when we are working on the stomach meridian, अब हमें स्प्लीन को स्ट्रेंथन करना है तो 3 पॉइंट है, स्टमक 36, CV6, CV12। एक भी स्प्लीन नहीं है इसमें, है ना? CV6 is not the point of the spleen, means CV6 is the point on the CV meridian। वो आप सीखोगे अभी आगे। अभी आप ये देखिए, आई विल
सर
शो यू वन।
बीपी हाई वालों को करना चाहिए स्टमक 36 में मोक्षा?
वो हम आपको प्रोटोकॉल के समय समझाएंगे। अभी आप ये देखिए, दिस इज द स्टमक मेरिडियन and this is the stomach 36. Stomach meridian going in the abdomen. Now look at the internal root of the stomach meridian. This internal root of the stomach meridian, if you see, this is the stomach and this is the spleen. This stomach meridian going in the stomach as well as in the spleen. You are telling it stomach meridian, but it is going in both. And each and every point is having its own different characteristic. Like in the stomach meridian, there are many other points: stomach 36, stomach 37, stomach 38, stomach 39, stomach 40, 41. But some point is working on spleen, some other point. You will see stomach 36 is very good for stomach and spleen. Stomach 37 is good for large intestine. Stomach 39 is good for small intestine. Then you will tell one meridian, but 1 point is good for this, 1 point is good for that. It is coming shortly, this discussion. एक ही मेरिडियन होगा, स्टमक 36, स्टमक स्प्लीन के लिए अच्छा हो गया. 37 पॉइंट है द बेस्ट पॉइंट फॉर लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन. 37. स्टमक 39 इज द बेस्ट पॉइंट फॉर स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन. एक पॉइंट से पूरी स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन बैलेंस होगी. तो ऐसे और भी पॉइंट आएंगे जो होंगे स्टमक में, लेकिन उनका टारगेट ऑर्गन और भी है ना. ऐसे बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स आए.
सर एक क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हो?
हाँ.
तो जितने भी कपल जैसे स्टमक और स्प्लीन, लंग्स एंड लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन, जितने भी पेयर्ड ऑर्गन्स हैं, तो इंटरनली वो सारे कनेक्टेड है एक दूसरे से.
Internally, they all are connected with each other. They are merged with each other. So they can change the energy, exchange the energy immediately. Like जो हस्बैंड के अकाउंट में पैसा होता है ना, वो वाइफ का भी उतना ही होता है ना. सेम टू सेम. यहाँ बिल्कुल नहीं है. अगर लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन के पास जो है लंग्स को तो मिल ही जाएगा फटाक से, एंड वाइस वर्सा. Then yes, मुस्कान जी.
मेरे सामने एक एक्सीडेंट हुआ था, कार एक्सीडेंट. मेरे सामने एक एक्सीडेंट हुआ था कार, उसमें 2 लोग थे. तो उसका नीचे ब्लड आ गया, एकदम ब्लड निकला था. मैं जो आपने आपने जो बताया था ना, स्प्लीन 1 और लिवर 1, बहुत काम किया उसने.
Yeah, very good. Liver 1, spleen 1 will stop bleeding immediately. That's very good point. Wonderful.
मैं वो इसकी एक वीडियो बनाई, वो केरला में बहुत वायरल हो गया वो.
Oh wow, so nice. हमें भी दिखाइएगा. Excellent.
Sir, quite often I use it.
Okay, good. मुस्कान जी,
बहुत
having any
जल्दी
question?
ब्लड इसका मतलब रुक जाता है, स्टॉप हो जाता है.
सर मेरे 2-3 क्वेश्चंस थे. जैसे आपने बोला कि स्प्लीन चीजों को होल्ड करता है, सो बेसिकली जब हेयर फॉल होता है तो फॉलिकल्स ओपन हो जाते हैं, इसकी वजह से हेयर फॉल होता है ज्यादा. सो मे बी दैट इज.
No, that is different conditions. So now, skin and body hair.
Due to
Skin
lung.
and body hair are controlled by the energy power of lungs.
Lung.
And scalp hair are controlled by the energy of
Kidney.
Kidney.
So it is like that things, right? Suppose if the person is standing for longer time and not sleeping enough, having lots of weakness of the kidney, there is a falling of the scalp hair. And the weakness of the lung will affect your skin or body hair. So it is as per the connections. It is as per the, because we know lungs are creating that mist below the skin. And it is also giving that power to body hair. Okay. In the same way, scalp hair is getting power from the kidney.
Okay. Imbalance of legs, basically in it's not paralysis, the trembling, it's there. Is it because of spleen?
So trembling is because of, most of the time, trembling means vibration.
Liver.
So it is more connected with the liver. But
But
there might be
imbalance.
some more connections also. But there is liver bind and few more connections like yin deficiency, but liver bind is having more. So we will understand this. Yeah, we will discuss this.
Okay. And
In
sir,
the liver
overuse of muscle, in that we have to tone spleen or liver? Like
in the
if
trembling.
No. So just basing, like a knowledge basis.
What?
If there is overuse of muscle, so to
Overuse of muscle.
So to relax that muscle, we have to tone liver or spleen.
So give some example.
Just yesterday you told that someone was working on laptop. So this is.
Oh, okay, got it. So suppose someone working on the laptop and there's overuse of the muscles, or going in the gym, overuse of the muscles, running a lot, and having lots of pain in the calf muscles. These all are acute and excessive condition. We need to sedate.
Sedate what? Spleen or liver?
No, we have to sedate. But what we have to sedate is a different question.
Okay.
We have to sedate. What we have to sedate, it is depend on the protocol. But we have to sedate the energy. When we will make the treatment protocol now, there will be many protocol from different meridian. It will not happen like only one meridian we are choosing to make the protocol. So we might have to sedate multiple points in the different meridian. Okay. But when the things become chronic and old, then it become weak, then we have to tonify. For everything. Suppose fresh paralysis, sedate. Old paralysis, tone. Fresh pain, sedate. Old pain, tone. When the things and pain are fresh, new, acute, energy excessive, we have to sedate. And when it become old, chronic, then we have to see this is the already weak energy, we have to tone it.
How long is something that is old? Like, is 1 year, is that acute
No,
or
it is
chronic?
not fixed criteria. In the paralysis, it is given, but it vary. In the paralysis also it given 1 month, 3 months, and more than 3 months. 1 month is the acute condition. Then till the 3 months, it's the intermediate conditions, and after 3 months is the chronic condition. But it never same for everyone.
And just now you
It
said
never
like,
fixed criteria. Never fixed criteria. It depends. We have to cross verify
and
whether the energy is excessive or the weak.
just now you said like if somebody's overuse of computer and you just sedate, but in that case actually their fingers have become weak, isn't that? So why are we sedating
No,
if it's
if
okay
it
to
is
ask?
continuously using that, no, that is actually there is called tendinitis. Inflammation is there.
Uh-huh.
Tendinitis, itis means inflammation. Inflammation means redness, swelling, pain. These condition called already heat is there. Even if you touch, you will feel warmness. Even you don't feel the warmness, but if it is itis like tendinitis, even the trigger finger, these all are excessive conditions.
Yeah, so because of that we sedate. Understand.
That's why we said it.
Okay, thank you.
So now we will take one last question from anyone, those who has not asked today. Okay, then we'll conclude the session. Now, okay, anyone can ask the last question.
So my question is, कई में होता है यहाँ पे मोटा हो जाएगा और यहाँ पतला है हाथ. So that is also spleen.
देखो वो क्या होता है ना कि we have to see कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति like per one person having the lifestyle using more biceps muscle, lifestyle होती है ना, सबकी अलग अलग होती है lifestyle. One person is having like working in the form and using more leg muscles, more arm muscles. Some one person using more even we can see one biceps is bigger, one is small. One arm is thicker, one is small. Okay, one is stronger, another is weak. Many person having right hand is strong, left hand weak. Right muscle is strong, left muscle. In the same way, in one arm, here is the bigger, here is the small. So it might be depends on the use of muscle also. Use of muscles. Okay, that person is not using the other muscle. But another thing is, if there is an atrophy means you can see muscle is thin, atrophied, muscle पतली हो गई है. ये मसल का जो नॉर्मल शेप होता है वो नहीं है, वो घिस गई है मसल, तब हम बोलेंगे कि स्प्लीन इज डेफिशिएंट.
तो यहाँ पे जैसे पतला है, यहाँ बहुत फ्लैशी है, पैर में भी वैसे ही है, ऊपर थाइस बहुत मोटा फ्लैशी और पैर नीचे बिलो नी इट इज वेरी थिन.
तो आपको देखना पड़ेगा ना, इट माइट बी नॉर्मल आल्सो, क्योंकि एवरी पर्सन इज हैविंग डिफरेंट बॉडी शेप एंड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. हर किसी व्यक्ति को वी कांट कंपेयर वन पर्सन विद अदर. वी हैव टू सी दैट पर्सन इन हिज ओन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. कि अरे आप देखोगे सब दिखता है, ओके दिस डेल्टोइड इज गुड, दिस इज एट्रोफाइड. देखोगे गौर से सब दिखता है, समझ में आता है. लेकिन आप किसी दूसरे से कंपेयर मत करो, उसकी बॉडी का ही कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन देखो आप कि इसके ओके दिस इज ओके, दिस इज ओके एज पर इज लाइफ स्टाइल। अगर वो बैठता है सेडेंटरी लाइफ स्टाइल है तो मसल्स अकॉर्डिंगली होंगी, अगर उसकी स्पोर्टी लाइफ स्टाइल है तो उसके मसल अकॉर्डिंगली होंगी, है ना, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली।
मोस्टली सिटिंग जैसे हो गया तो फिर स्प्लीन को वीक करता है, जो हमने क्वेश्चंस किए।
Sitting too much will weaken the
Sitting
spleen.
too
Spleen
much.
is like little movement.
Hmm.
Nowadays, most of the people having spleen weakness
Okay.
because of their sedentary lifestyle.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine. So done for today. Now we'll continue the session tomorrow. अब हम कल मिलेंगे. Thank you so much. Good night.